Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of Malt Magic Campaign 2. We are back, and again, joined by at least one friend from Homie and the Dude tonight, so we'll talk about that in just a second. But before we descend into all of our chaos, let's run down our usual shout-outs, our usual thank yous. So a big shout-out and thank you to Incarnates, Owlbear Radio, and Dungeon Alchemist for all things virtual tabletop and mapping. There will be a map at some point tonight, and it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun building it. So yeah, there's a tease of things to come. And then, of course, Hero Forge for all things character visuals, although I am very, very, very tempted to start using Baldur's Gate 3, because that shit is amazing. And if you're not playing that yet, shameless plug, I am, and please go check it out if you're a D&D fan. That's like, I'm not paid to say this, go and check it out. It is awesome. So yes, please go please go and check out Hero Forge as well, because they have a lot of cool tools. I think one of my biggest annoyances about Hero Forge in the past was that they didn't have a lion face or a lion based character template. They now do. So Ethereal from campaign 1 has a whole new look. So yes, please go check out Hero Forge if you're not already. And then, of course, there is D&D Beyond for all things character management, encounter management, campaign management, everything you want to do with D&D Beyond. And then the DM's tools that I use in the background, which are mainly Kassoon, 5e Magic Shop, 2 Minutes Tools, the Thieves Guild, and World Anvil. Potentially more coming down that line, because I've been finding new tools to go and play with. Any sound effects you'll hear, or some sound effects you'll hear, and some of the background tracks, tracks, I can't say that word, tracks, there we go, tracks, like train tracks, which is why I'm so flustered tonight. Tracks you will find are courtesy of Tabletop Audio and BattleBards. If you've not checked out version 2 of BattleBards, then please do. We are partnered with them. At some point we will do another giveaway for another subscription, but we have other giveaways to get through in the meantime. So on that note, again, a massive, massive, massive thank you to both Homie and the Dude and the Eldritch Press. So Homie and the Dude for joining with us continuously for now, in terms of our campaign, and then the Eldritch Press for providing tonight's giveaway, which is a rollover from last week. And I will talk about that, I think, as we go into the full lineup. Just because I want to say some other things as well during that point. So we'll move past that. You've seen the social media links, or at least the icons pop up at the bottom, but please go and follow us on all our social media channels. Danny and I have been working a bit today to try and put a bit more of a schedule around social media, so it'll be a bit more predictable in terms of when we're going to put posts out, and hopefully that will help people engage a little bit more. So we'll see how that goes. But of course, you're missing all the action if you're not on Discord, so come and join us on the Discord server and check out all the good stuff that's on there. So there's followers chats, there's subscriber chats, fan arts, there are fan theories, there's homebrews, which I've released a brand new one today, which was the Warlock's Pact from campaign 1, which is the book that I believe Dargon read. And yes, of course, if you are not watching us live on Twitch, and hopefully you are engaging with us on either YouTube or the podcast, so this episode will be released on Friday, and if you are listening on the podcast or joining us on YouTube, hello, thank you so much for all of your support. Please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, notification buttons across all of them, and if you are on the podcast, please leave us a little rating or review. That'll just help to grow the numbers. Again, podcast listens are up, so it's great to see. I'm really happy that people are engaging on that platform. But of course, if you're enjoying the podcast, please come and join us on Twitch as well. If you get the chance, come and drop in and say hello. We will appreciate all the love and support, and we do appreciate all the love and support. And I think with that, I am probably going to shut up for the next sort of 30 seconds or so anyway. So my usual warnings do apply. There will be adult language and adult humour. You have been warned. Let's roll. Hello. How are we all doing?
Adult language and adult humour is the only reason I'm here.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
That's because you offer most of it, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's an outlet because I have to behave myself while I was pretending to be a normal human.
Chat helps
when
I
feel
coming
the
to
same.
spells. So,
Chat definitely helps.
You know.
But yes, no, we are technically a man down tonight, as Tom has had a bit of a family emergency to sort out. So I just want to say a big thank you to Tom for being here for the last few weeks. Tom is unfortunately going to take a little bit of a break now and maybe back in the future. But a massive thank you to Tom for bringing Kavan into our lives and bringing some renewed energy alongside Bodhi. And I am sure we will see him again soon. So yes, a big hello again, once again, Bodhi. And I also want to say a massive congratulations, because I know the Kickstarter was an absolutely booming success. It did so well. I was really pleased to see all those stretch goals coming in towards the end. So really looking forward to seeing the finished product.
It was a wild ride, man. We actually had two of our employees. We had a pool of what the final number was going to be, and two of our employees were watching it tick down. In the last 17 seconds, it flipped over and got to the final person with the last number. So it was a raucous moment in the chat in our work group chat. Is they were like, "No shit, I lost in the last 15 seconds." It was good. It was good. But yeah, very happy. Thank you very much, and thank you to anyone who backed. We really appreciate it.
Oh, good stuff. Well, I say I'm really looking forward to seeing that when it's all done. So keep us posted.
Of course.
And yes, we will hopefully get a little bit of a taste at some point as well. So we'll see what happens. But on the subject of Kickstarters, so I did talk about the fact that we are rolling over the giveaway from last week. So Fletch from the Eldritch Press has very kindly agreed to give us two PDF copies of Into the Veils, his Kickstarter, the Eldritch Press's latest Kickstarter, which I believe is also finished now. Excuse me. So Fletch, if you're watching, you can shoot me later for fucking up the details, but you will see an advert for that during the break, where you will also get a chance to win one of those two PDF copies. So please stick around, please pay attention, as well as the question we will ask you will be based on the content of the first half of the episode. And yes, you'll get a chance to win a PDF version of that Kickstarter, which is all Fae related, so you know I'm excited for it, because you know how much of a Fae nerd I am. But cool. Excellent. I suppose on that note then, I know we've all spoken anyway, but let's very quickly run down the lineup. So I am Matt, I'm your Dungeon Master for this and most evenings, and I'm also playing Callum Verfleur, the Fey-touched Warlock, as well as whatever sort of existential crisis I need Cog to be tonight.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue, and I'm currently thinking how difficult we can make the first half to try and give as many different nuggets as possible.
And I'm Danny, and I'm playing Lex Ordo, the UNT sorcerer, and I'll be talking in Welsh for the first half, so that'll be towards the questions at half time.
I would pay good money to see you speak Welsh.
No, I barely know English, so Welsh is definitely out the window. Cockney rhyming slang I can do.
Now, I like that one. I'm all about that. What's up, guys? I'm Bodhi from Hermie and the Dude, and tonight I'll be playing Edgious Bones, your skeletal friend. And I'm afraid. That's all. I'm afraid.
So yes, last week was a lot of fun. We continued our journey into the northeastern part of the Drymerian forest. Had a lot of fun getting a boat across an inlet. A lot of fun getting that boat across the inlet. I've shown that clip to everyone I know, and everyone has shit themselves laughing, pissed themselves laughing, whatever you want to say. It has been brilliant. I've showed it to my parents. They've loved it. Yeah, so well done, folks.
I would also like to say it was very difficult to clip for a short real because
Yeah.
there was 10 minutes of gold, and I'm like, how am I getting this down to 1?
It's all right. TikTok will do 10 minutes these days.
I know they will, but we know
good
people's
problem to have.
attention spans.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
But yes, we eventually got over the inlet and dealt with Callum's junk and Lex's top half as well, sort of topless nature as he was rowing. Kavan unleashed his inner rage to get you across this inlet and out to the other side. And then you sort of continued on your journey briefly through the forest before the sun began to set and you realised you were not going to be able to navigate much further. So you bedded down for the evening. And Edgious agreed to sort of take first watch. And actually, due to the nature of Edgious, was planning on letting everybody just chill for the evening. Kavan woke up sort of early hours of the morning and saw his friend, and they sat having a chat, and at that point there was things noticed, sound snapping, sound of twigs snapping even, yips and slight growls, and eventually you were beset upon by a number of gnolls and giant hyenas, which I will reveal now that Tom rolled for prior to the session last week. So if anybody's got a problem, blame Tom. But thank you very much, Tom, for providing that insight. So yes, that was the random encounter we rolled for. But you dispatched them with some very, very good tactics. Some nice little lining up of a lightning bolt there, and making sure we were sort of moving around the battlefield. It was very, very good. Very, very tactical is the only word I can think of, but nicely played, everyone. And of course, during the fight, Edgious threw off all of the scarves and coverings that he was wearing to reveal the skeletal body underneath. And we finished last week's episode with basically the party, or at least Jewel and Lex, looking at Edgious and saying, "You've got some explaining to do." And this is where we begin episode 31 then, as Edgious invites you all to come and sit back by the fire and sort of take stock of the battle, but also to weave a little yarn around the tale of Edgious Bones. So, my friends, who's going to start?
Well, Jewel did remove the knife from his throat, right?
No.
At the end of the last session?
No, I think it was still sort of there, but then the comment was said, "Let's go sit by the fire."
Okay.
So with Edgious saying let's go sit by the fire, Jewel would look at Lex to gauge his reaction.
I'll give her... Yeah, I think it's okay.
And as Kavan sort of calms down and places his axe down, he's going, Edge, you okay?
I would just appreciate this knife being removed from something that you're not going to cut, as there's no flesh here. But I would very much enjoy a conversation, an explanation, and hey, I love a good story. I'm sure you guys have some questions. Let's just talk this over amicably.
You indeed have a lot of explaining to do. You are not helping our trust issues at the moment, so you better have a very good reason and a very good story.
Well, a story it is, indeed. And Edge is going to take a couple steps towards the fire and kind of pull one of the logs that in the combat kind of got knocked away that we were using as seats earlier in the night. And he's going to kind of roll it back up close to the fire. And he's going to kind of lean in and poke the fire with a stick, stoking the coals. You can see the orange hue of the fire kind of really like lighting up his skull. You can see there's a crack above his eye that's held together with a gold piercing. You can see his eye sockets, though hollow and empty, still seem to be filled with some sort of like remnants of life as the flames kind of flicker and dance and reflect off the inside of the eye sockets. Would you like to come and join me?
And till we sit down because he is absolutely fascinated how a skeleton is fucking walking about. So he is going to be like sitting cross-legged at the front, waiting for story time.
Jewel takes the far side of the fire, a seat over there, but doesn't. She does make eye contact with you, and yeah, she doesn't look away at any moment.
And Kavan will sort of go and sit next to Edge and keeps the axe out, just sort of looking a bit nervously from Edge to the rest of the party, and I'm not sure how this is going to go. With that
Edge looks at
rage
Callum
just there.
and says, do you want to put your trousers on and come join us too?
I mean, my trousers have been on all afternoon, darling, but yes, I am keen to understand this story as well. I thought I was the strangest one here, but turns out it's you.
As we all kind of sit down, Edge pulls out his lute and just begins kind of playing what I'd consider like almost like a slow, like Spanish kind of ballad, just very like, you know, slow finger picking on the guitar. As he looks forward and goes, well, I guess this is the story of a man called Edgious Bones. Edgious Bones was a good man, a man who loved his family, loved his wife, and cared deeply about the safety and security of others, holding justice as a role model above all else. As a young man, he became a detective, a man looking to solve things for those who couldn't do so themselves. And over the years, he became exceptionally good at what felt like a hobby, a passion, but was certainly a job. And he grew in fame and notoriety until one man heard of his existence, an evil gentleman by the name of Klein. And this gentleman with dark intentions and a sharp brow hired Edgious to solve an unsolvable crime. Edgious, with all the confidence and bravado in the world, took the job and put himself on the line. Little did he know that this was a trap to lure him away from the things he loved most. His family, his wife Kalila, his son Heron, and this man Klein, he took them from Edgious. You see, he took these lives and the things that Edgious loved from him. Something strange happened during a confrontation between the two gentlemen. Some sort of magical occurrence that I could only describe as the event. That day, Edgious Bones died and Edgious Bones rised. Now, the person you see before you, who I am, is the reason that the person who I was is dead. Greed, fame, notoriety, money led me down a very dark path. I have lost a lot at this point, and I simply am just trying to find a way. As he says this, he lifts his skull and looks round the circle. To move on. I'm sure, like many others, you're horrified by the look of me. And trust me, I'm just as horrified as you when I look in the freaking mirror or in a puddle or anything that I see my fucking godless reflection in. So I've chosen a different life. A life of music, a life of rebellion, and a life of helping people, but not for money, but because they deserve my help. And he puts his hand on Kavan's back as he goes, and that's why I'm here with my friend Kavan. That's why we joined you, because he needed help, we needed help, and you guys helped us. Now, in the short amount of time that I've spent with you, you seem very admirable people. I would very much love to be able to return the favor that you are currently bestowing upon us by helping you with your guys' journey of fixing this portal, but also in any other way that my talents, my ears, well, lack of, but ability to listen, will allow me to assist you. I hope that answers some questions, but at the same time, it may arise a few, so I fully understand, and I have no secrets here from you. I wish to be understood, and I'm not here trying to fuck you guys over, I guess is what I'm saying.
Can Jewel insight check the story?
You cynical bastard. Lex is here with a tear in his eye and you're insight checking it.
Yeah. To be fair,
I think while Jules doing that, Callum would walk up and place a hand on your bony clavicle, your shoulder. We all have history, darling. Well done for having the strength to continue.
It was a 10, so I'm guessing that I believe you.
It was true.
Why'd you say it with that face? True? Yeah, so I'm involved in the story, hook, line, and sinker. So I'll go up to Edgious and be like, I've been the odd one out my whole life, and I feel more connected to you now, and your purpose aligns with my purpose, I feel, from one detective to another. And I will put my thumb on the crack in his skull and see if casting mending will help it. Who knows?
I love
Make
that.
me an Arcana check, please.
Come on, don't be shit. This is going to be a good moment. Natural 20, motherfucker!
The dice have spoken.
Oh, let's try that again.
There's a moment, Edgious, where you feel just like a tingling sensation. It's weird. And then that ring, that piercing, almost feels like it shifts. And as you raise a bony finger up to your skull, you realise the crack that was there is gone.
As this happens, Edgious looks at Lex And even though, there's no skin to provide facial expression, you can tell that there's respect, care, and most of all, just an appreciation for a like-minded human being, and also having his skull repaired was some of the first actual feeling he's had in a very, very long time. That was awesome. And he's going to look up at Lex and go, "Thank you. I would be happy to, assist you in any detecting matters. Obviously, as a second to yourself, I would never want to encroach on the command of the group. But, I can tell you're exceedingly proficient with the arcane arts and such. So, I would love to learn more than anything. It'd be a pleasure. I'm rusty. I haven't done much detecting in a while. We've mainly been going around town to town, Kavan, haven't we? As our band, the Bones Brigade, and trying to bring light to people and warmth to people's life in that manner. But it's never too late to get back on the horse.
I am sorry to bring it up again. I understand you may not want to continue to speak about it, but what happened to this individual who did this to you after, what did you call it, the event?
Look, the last thing that I saw was a clap of lightning and a blast of arcane energy like nothing I have ever seen before. I passed out after that and woke up a couple days later, where we had been engaging with one another. The field was empty, bar my now skeletal body and the crater in which it lied.
So, you do not know what happened to this individual, and do you truly know what happened to your family? Are they still out there?
And I saw enough to know that my family are... And he's going to look to Kavan and look for some sort of spiritual kind of support, some sort of something of a deeper meaning, as Edge struggles to find that with life typically.
And I think Kavan will probably just sit there, look at you, and look up. He knows that they're... and I'm butchering Tom's voice, I apologise, Tom. He knows they're in a better place.
Yeah.
It was weird, right, Edge?
Then...
But...
May I say, Edgious, it is impressive that you have chosen to help others and not go on a path of vengeance. I do not know many people who would choose that.
As you say, path of vengeance, you see Edgious kind of dip his head and kind of twitch for a second, as almost like the light coming from the fire almost dulls and shadows kind of begin to ruminate and kind of protrude from Edgious himself and kind of haze outwards as he goes, "I've thought about vengeance a lot. But it's not the way." And as he says that, all the kind of shadow ripples back away, and the light kind of hits his skull again.
Just make me a history check, please, quickly.
Hell yeah. Let me just switch to my skills. History is that's going to be a 15.
15. As you're going back over these details and dealing with the pain of it all, the emotional trauma of it all, you remember that crater and waking, if that is what you did, waking up, and just the crack of ice as you moved your body, your new body for the first time, and seeing ice crystals around you. Not knowing what that was, but remembering it at least.
While I was writing notes, Dave, you asked a question. Did you ask him how long ago it happened?
I didn't, and I was going to.
Good.
Because it doesn't quite match. Sorry, this is mixing campaigns, but I just suddenly thought that if he was waking up with cracked ice,
if you want.
Please ask.
But anyway, go for it, Lex.
Do you mind if I ask how long ago your transformation happened? I don't want to open up old wounds unnecessarily.
I think 30 years, give or take. It happened.
You know where I'm going with this.
It happened in some place to the east.
You motherfucker.
Oh, that's interesting.
Did
This is out of context. This is out of character.
30 years ago is quite a pivotal moment in my life as well. That is when when a portal first opened for me, and I went to the plane of Mechanus, and I've only just come back on my detective mission. 30 years ago was obviously when the big magical seismic event occurred.
It was big for me too. I first, well, it's when I first got angry and strange shit happened.
Wait, so look, I've been trying to find out information, and everyone I talk to about this event or I describe it to seems to just want to hush me along and move me along. Did you say some sort of seismic arcane event?
Yeah, when hang on. Lex does know about. Everybody will know about. Lex knows about the returning of Nyland, which caused the whole thing.
Make me a history check.
Ooh, 18.
18. So, yes, you would know not necessarily as much around the return of Nylim, but you have heard since then whispers or sort of rumours of the fact that something in the east caused a magical surge throughout the world. Ley lines themselves literally exploded with power, and you've been to the Crystalline Isle, where they explained that actually the island itself didn't exist in the form you see it today. It was just a normal island with sort of grassland and trees and forests and a wizard's tower that had been built on a nexus of ley lines. But the moment that surge happened, everything changed. These giant mana stone crystals just erupted and formed and totally transformed that island. You've heard tales of other individuals that were changed in that moment. You've heard whispers that the gods that had once been so present in the world had diminished and drifted almost to the point where they are now, you only hear about them when you go to temples or see certain clerics or priests. 30 years ago was a big moment in our Dalian history.
I mean, 30 years ago was huge for everybody. There was a returned quadrant kingdom to the east, which then the ley line surged, the gods disappeared, magic rose. You said you were from the east, right? Whereabouts?
Well, I don't. Some of the details of my previous life are still a little bit obscure to me. They come to me in pieces. I've spent 30 years collecting memories and moments of my life as I've traveled around. People who have recognized me or my voice, or I've heard the name. Yeah, it's been hard, but I don't actually remember.
Well, maybe we could return. Have you returned to the east since, or have you always ran away from it?
You see him look at Kavan again, as he almost hangs his head in this kind of like shameful way. You see his mohawk kind of like flops to the side and kind of hangs down as he's like, I guess I've been running for a while now.
Is this Klein person still pursuing you?
I don't know. I've asked whispers here and there, but the less I think about him, the better it feels like in my head. There's less noise upstairs, if you know what I mean. So
they would be getting on a bit for now, presumably. At 30 years ago. Yeah, forgive me. I am guessing in your current form you cannot or do not age.
Yeah, that seems to be. Yeah, I thought I was gonna get older, but just sore joints. The joints just seem to just need a little bit of extra grease every now and then. But
I'm still in awe is the fact that you are walking about, and I admit I feel I should have seen that you were more than what we saw before. Or less. Oh, I'm sorry, that is improper.
No. Hey, no offense taken. You're trying to work it out just as much as I'm trying to understand. Myself as well. So
Is it your innate arcane abilities that you think has kept you like this, or is it some other form, some other the word necromancy?
Well, I've seen some priests. Most of them just pass out. But
I was about to ask.
But the ones that have managed to stay conscious have told me that they don't think it was necromancy of any sort. But I do remember the fact that the person that died that day 30 years ago had never had an arcane bone in his body. When I woke up, I have since been able to wield power that is both within and around me, I guess would be the best way to describe it. But also, I mean, another funny story, as it so happens, a few years ago, I did win a gambling situation with a guy, and the reason I've got such a good singing voice, all down to that, my abilities with musical magic, thanks to that fool and his terrible poker face. But
I assume you are very good at poker.
Well, it's hard to read me.
No
hard
poker
to read
face.
me.
Yes.
Yeah, no poker face, which is some would say the best
No, he's
poker
got
face.
no face. No face
Some
whatsoever.
silver linings, I suppose.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
Jewel will put her dagger away. She's basically kept it in her hand this whole time, but she finally realizes she's still holding it. She puts it away. She stands up and we'll look over the fire and go, Edgious, I am sorry. We have had definitely trust issues quite recently. The past couple of weeks have been nothing but trust issues. I am sorry I put a dagger to your throat. I hope you will in time forgive me for this. I understand your predicament.
Look, hey, I would shit my pants if one of you was a pumpkin man, for example. You know,
it so happens that I... No,
you know,
I'm not. No.
Oh, you almost gave me a freaking not heart attack.
Somewhere under Dargon and Kirik are all twitching.
In campaign 1, we faced a pumpkin man.
Yeah.
Perfect. Look. I'm not sure. It seems like there's other things in this forest than us. I'm not sure how you guys feel. We can either bed back down and hope that, you know, the scent of these creatures, though we can probably move the bodies, doesn't draw things to us, or I'm happy to get moving now so that we can, you know, I don't know. I'm not a nature guy. I'm more of like an urban dude. You know, like I like streets and stuff where I can busk.
I would suggest that we make a group effort to drag the bodies somewhat away. The death of an animal such as this will create. For some it is food, and for some it is the warning to stay away. For those particular creatures, I'm sure the small prey of fox and rat we do not care about, and they will just happily go for it. For those larger beasts, they I think will certainly fear it for a few days. So I would say let's move it away and let's get some sleep. Edgious, I assume it is roughly the time that you are going to wake me. If so, I can take over.
Do you even need to sleep? How do you close your eyes?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been wondering that one myself.
Don't
I
forget
think
that lady in the tavern once gave you that blindfold to use.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah.
Did you? I think I gave it to you. Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's like here. He just pulls out this piece of very, very slinky black silk.
I'm right.
Oh, that one, the one that I told you she
Her.
gave me for sleeping.
What?
What was her
You mean
name?
it wasn't for
Azalea? God, it was something very, very elvish. She was.
Chandelier?
That was. We slept all night because of that mask. Just like the soundest. And good sleep. Thanks for reminding me. And he's gonna like look at the others and embarrassingly like tie it and put it in his pocket. And
Lex completely believed you because he doesn't know. He wouldn't know a blindfold is for sexy time. Lex is oblivious.
It brings a new meaning to having a bone.
Kavan at this point will turn around and say,
Is that another reference I don't understand? I'm really not good at innuendo.
Enough, and well, why don't we move the bodies and then wait till morning? We're not gonna navigate far in the forest without the sun. So
Yes.
Let's finish up and move
Kavan,
on.
I will happily help you. Yes, Lex.
Edgious, I have a lot of personal questions I want to ask. When is the appropriate protocol to ask them?
Now, I suppose.
When you drink ale, where does it go?
At this moment, Julian will nod to Kavan to go and sort the bodies out.
And they do. You start dragging giant hyenas away and gnolls and get rid of them. Callum will come and help as well.
Edgious is gonna, like, quickly, before he explains to Lex, he's going to turn around to Jewel and grab Jewel's, like, wrist as they go to walk past and say, check the bodies, you never know what you'll find. And then let Jules continue before he goes, so, I do this little glove trick where I pull my hand out of my glove and through my sleeve, and then I hold a sack, a wineskin down here, and then when I'm pouring it down, it simply just goes straight into the wineskin. Now, I perfected the pouring angle and technique over 30 years of splashing it all over the inside of my clothing.
So you don't actually taste or drink it. You don't need sustenance in any way. It's just for appearances.
Yep. Yeah, exactly that.
Have you ever thought about just letting it all hang out and just being your true self?
You know, I tried for like the first week, 2 weeks, and the screams of the women and children really started to get to me at about day 8, and then by day 13, I was buying some scarves and that awful fedora that you see me wearing.
There's just no acceptance in this world. I'm actually due to shed some skin at some point in the next couple of months. Would you like to use that? I'm assuming you anti-shed the skin. I just made that up. If not, that's happening.
That's canon. That's
Fucking
in.
canon now.
Who knows?
Let me just go and add that to the notes.
I've heard skin
Is that too
makes... no, I've heard it before it gets all dry. It can make for a very good, sponge, cloth, cleaning thing. I wouldn't wear your skin because I feel like that would be invasive on you. And also, people would definitely get confused because we would end up looking like twins. You know, that might not actually be that bad of a bad idea.
That could work to our advantage, actually.
Well, do you know what?
Sorry, there's been a running joke this campaign with Lex, and now we've got Lex, and Lex.
Yeah.
So whenever we went to a new place, we all said our name was Lex, but spelled differently. And
Amazing.
now you can actually look like you can go in disguise as me.
I love it. And do you know what? At that moment, I'm gonna go. Would you like to see my current party trick that I don't bring out for many people, but I'd be happy to show you today, Lex?
Yeah. And then you'll see Cog come out of my pocket and sit on my shoulder and sort of go into record mode.
At that point, though a not a magical ability, an ability that he had when he was a not a human, but when he was whole. You see Edgious kind of wipe his bone hand over his face as you see skin just out of almost nowhere, like flakes of skin begin kind of building the facial structure and the skin and muscles as he wipes his hand over his face and into his head, revealing a gentleman with a very dark color skin, almost a Mr. T looking like gentleman, basically. And as he sits there in front of you and goes, it's something that my people can do as he, but I can't do it for long periods of time. Hence the scarves and everything.
What do you mean, my people? What?
Other, we call ourselves morphs. As a less, derogatory term than the thing that is often named of us, which is changeling.
Has Lex ever heard of changelings?
Make me a nature check, please.
Probably not. 5.
5. No, in all your studies of history and the way of the world and during your studies of Mechanus, changelings. Not something that really came up.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, there's not a lot of us around, but I prefer if if you're gonna refer to what I am as a morph would be preferred.
If there's a politically correct protocol to follow, I'll follow it.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
That's awesome. Only us morphs can call each other changelings. That's kind of how it works. But
okay.
Yeah, you get my drift. But yeah, that's kind of how I have been disguising myself. And but yeah, Lex, let me ask you something. You said you went to let me just see if I got this right. You entered the machine? Was that what you said?
When I was a child and the event happened for me 30 years ago, a diamond-colored portal opened up when I was on a pilgrimage with my family, and I went through, and then I spent the next 30 years on the plane of Mechanus, which is obviously where I got my companion, Cog, here. And now I'm on a mission from Primus to investigate planar disturbances, portals, rifts, and try and restore balance to this realm. So we're us detectives have to stick together, right?
Definitely, and as a detective, I'm sure you looked at the situation you were involved with from many different angles and kind of assessed it. I wanted to ask, did you meet any? You mentioned a Primus or an Optimus something. It was just. Did you meet any higher beings out on this other plane?
I actually asked Primus if he was a god. He is not. He is just the arbiter of the great equation, which to everyone else would translate as fate, or the threads of fate.
He's gonna look over his shoulder to make sure Kavan is out of earshot before turning back and go, oh, go on, Matt. What were you gonna say? Go on.
I was going to say, Kavan's got a big fucking hyena slung across his back and it's just sort of trudging into the woods.
I'm gonna look back and be like, good. There's no gods anymore, and I'd hoped, I still hope, but it doesn't matter what plane you're fucking on. There's no one here to help you but us.
The gods may be closer than you think, because again, when you ask Jewel about it, they've come into contact with a kind of demigod. That's a story for them to tell. And I myself happen to unlock chronomancy, which is linked to the god Kronos, I believe. So all is not lost. Never lose hope.
Chronomancy, is that ability where you can essentially turn any metallic vehicle into something very shiny and it reflects, and so some might call it, I've heard the term pimping the ride or something like that. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to.
Lex's face would just be like, no, you couldn't be further away. It's the manipulation of time and probability.
So let me ask you this as well. This Primus, this arbiter of fates, and your time, that sounds like a lot of potentiality to reverse things, maybe go back, solve some problems or something like that, maybe. I'm not sure if that
I see where you're going with this. I'm not sure about the potential for time travel. All I know is within a battle scenario when we were faced just then, I can tap into it a little bit to manipulate the outcome in our favor. But that's as far as my studies have taken me so far.
who knows, maybe down the line, you and I team up, time hop, go skull fuck my friend Klein, and come on back.
Time detectives.
That
We could
sounds
we could be
amazing.
detectives going from plane to plane, solving mysteries, bringing order and balance to the multiverse.
You know what? I absolutely love that. And I used to have this guy who was kind of like my assistant. He was a very good friend of mine. His name was Watson. Very.
I was waiting for it.
Of
Fucking
course he
waiting
fucking
for it.
was.
I nearly said it, and I thought, no, I'm not going to say it.
I would love to possibly be, in whatever capacity you would appreciate me, your Watson.
But Watson, I ejaculated. Guys, you have got to listen to the complete works of Sherlock if you ever have, because it is brilliant.
Yeah.
And when they come out with the old world speaking like that, and they actually use ejaculation like a burst of speech.
You mean the proper way it's meant to be used? Yeah.
No. Language evolves, so we don't have that
it now
anymore.
it now means jizz, Matthew.
Yes. So we do not use it as the the expulsion of words. I mean, the ejaculation from a third floor
Just keep saying it, Dave.
balcony
Just keep saying
is absolutely brilliant. It's just fantastic.
I got arrested in Magaluf for doing an ejaculation. For that.
Just write it in the 1800s, you'll be fine.
Very good then. I will say, Edgious and Lex, your conversation starts to wind down a little bit, and Edgious, for the first time, you feel freer. But you also do feel kind of tired. Not as in physically tired, but emotionally tired.
Edge, when he does head to bed eventually, or his version of that, which I imagine would be deconstructing himself and putting himself quietly in a corner somewhere, Edge is gonna feel like, in a weird way, that lump in your throat that you feel when it's like, and that lump at times can lie to you, because at times it can be sad, but at other times you can be so happy that you're sad and that same lump appears, and so, or you feel that same way. So he's just confused and a little bit lost, feeling things that he hasn't in a very long time, almost like walking again for the first time for someone who might have lost the ability to walk, I guess. And he's just gonna kind of, last thing, just say like a little word to himself, which is just, I hope you're okay out there, Kalila. And fuck you, Klein. And then, like, lights off in his head. Sleep.
Very good.
Can I roll back to say that Jewel did roll certainly the other creatures, not the wolves, obviously.
The gnolls, yeah, not the hyenas.
You say narwhals.
Regular gnoll.
You would find simple weapons at best.
Fine. Just put them in a pile and leave them.
So as the rest of the group beds down and sleeps for the rest of the evening, there are a number of hours till the morning. Kavan sits and takes watch. I'm going to ask everybody to make me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
Ooh.
Disadvantage, shit.
Disadvantage.
Oh, I rolled good enough. 7.
7?
That's an 18.
18?
It's a 19. I rolled 2 11s.
19. Very good. So Edgious and Jewel, there's a point in the night where you hear what sounds like the clink of metal briefly in your half slumber, sleep, stupor. But it's not there for very long as you then just sort of roll over and fall back into that deep sleep following the battle. Edge, you're the first to wake up in the morning. And I would say your eyes flash open, but it's almost like, shit, I'm awake. And you look. Kavan's not there. His stuff's gone.
Edge is gonna quickly grab his shin bones and attach feet to them, and then attach them to his femurs, and then to his hips, and then spine to hips, and then to pelvis, and just build himself back up. Finally, putting his skull on to then kind of like rush out of the tent and kind of look around as far and as wide as he can.
Okay. Make me an investigation check, actually, please.
Oh, yeah. Go on, then. That is a 25.
You take in every detail now that your friend, your closest friend, for the last few months, is not there. And you can see Kavan's footprints. You see where he was clearly sat for part of the evening next to the fire, and you see what looks like a strange footprint and drag mark almost next to it. And then as you continue to take into the surroundings, you then look to where the wooden pole of your tent is shoved into the ground and stuck up with then the canvas either side, and there is a copper knife with a piece of parchment pinned to the tent.
Sake. I'll read it. I'll definitely read it. What does the parchment say? I'll gently remove the knife so as not to tear the parchment, and then I'll read it.
Okay. And you do, and this is a very ornate knife, and you realise it's made to look copper, but it's actually made of very, very hard and substantial metal. And you can pocket that as a copper knife. It'll still be a standard knife, but you can have it. And as you then read the parchment, it's written very hastily in Kavan's scruffy writing. And Kavan having some of an education, but not the best. It's a little bit broken, but you get the meaning, right? And you can see that it says, Edge, you know I wouldn't leave you unless it was important. Something found me. Something that promised me answers. I need to see this through. I will find you.
At that moment, Edge is going to flash back to a memory that he collected on his journey. It's going to be him running up a little path to a small cottage engulfed in flames. As he rushes in and smashes the door down and kind of looks around and begins shouting, though you can't really hear what he's saying in the flashback. Chaos kind of ensues as flames begin to lick forward, and then he snaps back to reality and is gonna almost feel like he's struggling to breathe, like almost like, again, like a panic kind of situation, like almost panic attacky, as he's gonna be like, guys, Kavan's gone.
Jules immediately
Kavan.
up and out.
And
What do you say? She
Kavan will
is gone.
Crawl out. What?
Has he been kidnapped?
There's a letter here. And he's gonna just hand it to the first person that gets to him.
Probably Jewel.
It will be Julia.
Oh, what does this mean? Something has found them. They have to go. What does?
So you continue to read, Jewel, and you see the final 2 words, which say, final 3 words, which say Paragon is close.
Paragon is close. I need to bring up my notes.
I must say I don't know much about this Paragon deity. What's their deal?
Well, Kavan was, I don't want to say obsessed, but talked a lot about this deity, and apparently they're peaceful, apparently, or so he believes. And Edgious is going to look to Lex as if to like call back to our conversation about gods kind of existing, kind of not existing. I don't know much myself. I tend to avoid religion, as it's, it's a conforming thing that forces people to follow, almost a dictator-like, ideology through, sustained, belief cycles that are, given to people through generations. So it's just not really my thing. I'm a little bit more, punk than that.
But they had something to do with Paragon?
He said that he could feel them, or something like they like I would commune. I don't really know. I don't really understand it, but essentially, Kavan felt like he knew this Paragon in a deeper sense than I think he said that the most people would have known, even as a worshipper.
If I recall, Kavan said he wanted these whatever we are going for in order to commune with Paragon.
Yeah. So essentially, the way he described it to me is like if you ever send a sending spell, but for some reason the like signal's not so good and it doesn't come out exactly right, and that he's having trouble making the link, and he's been trying to find a new way to make that link essentially and ask some questions.
Well,
as it seems like a lot of us are doing.
If he has found something, or something is calling him away, then maybe he no longer needs the crystals that we are looking for, or the flowers, or whichever. So, I don't know. Do we move on? Do we try and? Edgious, do you want to follow him, or do you want to come with us?
He's gonna look at the path, and then he's gonna look back at the group of people kind of stood around him. Look, something similar a while ago happened. He thought he saw something and disappeared for a bit of time. I, circled back around to the place where I left him, and we ended up bumping back into each other, and everything was fine. My gut says follow. Well, my spine says follow him, but my head says trust him. What do you guys think? What Callum, you're an educated guy. Use your reasoning skills to break this one down for us a little bit further.
Well, from what I can tell on the very scruffily written note, sounds like he's got somewhere to be. This is his handwriting, I assume.
It looks, I mean, it's it, but it's done clearly in a rush. You see the way that the R is slanting there, and the way that the F kind of flourishes off, and it looks like the ink kind of trickles.
Yes, no, that does make sense now.
Yeah.
I can't make the call for you, darling, but having seen folks on a journey before, there were like 3 individuals in my past who came, were a whirlwind, and disappeared, and then turned up later on. Sometimes you just have to let things play out, rather than try to influence them, or control them.
You know, Kavan once said something to me. It just so happens it was after that lady that he spoke of gave me that blindfold. I was feeling a type of a way about them, and Kavan said, you know, sometimes you've got to let people go so that they can do their thing, and if it's meant to be, then they'll come back. And now, you know what, like, I want to believe him, but she's never come back, so... And I was pretty sure she was the one. I was pretty sure. She rubbed my bones in ways that I hadn't experienced in a while. That's all I got to say about that, but...
I have not known you or Kavan that long, but I believe that he will come back and find you once he has sorted his own business out.
Yeah,
I hope I
think
his character
to,
understand his character.
If we manage to fix this portal, remind me to introduce you to a dryad.
Me?
Oh, I've read about those. Very promiscuous.
Let's just say your bones will be rubbed in new ways.
Oh, he's gonna look over at Callum and be like, "You sandbagging son of a bitch! You've been holding out on us this whole time, haven't you? Look, guys, look. I'm not gonna say I'm not fucking bummed that he's gone, but I think we should trust him. He's never steered me wrong up until this point. I mean, shit, I don't know how we're going to get back across the freaking water without him, but, you know, we'll come to that problem when we get there.
A lot slower, I think, is the answer to that one. But yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I'll keep my pants on and help.
Yeah. Yeah, your appendage was putting me off my stroke.
I think it was putting all of us off of our stroke?
So, stroking aside, let's
yeah.
Should we leave something for Kavan just in case they return here?
That's a good idea. I was gonna say something along the same lines, maybe a note, but then anyone, and he's gonna just gesture to the pile of dead bodies that are just next in the broad daylight next to a tree near the camp. So but then anyone could just walk past and see it, you know. So I don't know. Do you know what? I've got an idea. I'm gonna walk up to a tree. And I am going to write. If you will allow me, Jem, I would love to use my firebolt spell to be able to scorch something into a tree, basically, and scorch a little guitar pick shaped marker, basically with an E in the center, and Edgious can be like, I'll leave a trail of guitar picks, I guess.
That works.
Let us hope that we see him again soon.
Yeah, should we pack up in the meantime and get out of here?
I agree.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, time is pressing on us.
Cool. Edgious is then going to help pack up the tents. One of which was Kavan's, and he's going to definitely try to not carry that one because he's already got his own tent. He's going to try and
Do you
ship
want me to
that
put it in
someone.
my bag of holding when he returns?
Hey, I'm sure we can use it in the meantime
Yeah.
while he's.
I'll add it to my bag.
Amazing.
For the purposes
Thanks.
of my character sheet, have we had a long rest?
Oh,
Yes,
great
I
question.
was about to say everybody can tick the long rest button.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll need them
You're
spell slots
only
today.
in combat for seconds, minutes, maybe.
You
not
fucked
even
them
a
up,
minute.
that's why.
You did fuck them up pretty quickly. So the conversation was longer than the battle.
Yeah, it was.
What are you trying to say?
We talk a lot.
No, it's fine. It's all good. It's good. It's fantastic.
I will also, before we set off, cast aid on us three again.
You legend.
Nice.
10,
Beautiful.
10 hit points, modifier.
10 hit
max
points.
modifier.
Hell yeah, we love a good bit of that. I'm going to also, as we begin walking off, Edgious is gonna kind of let the others kind of step ahead. He'll maybe hold a branch out of the way so Callum and the others can walk past, and then as he goes to take a step and follow them, he's gonna look back at the footprint and just be like, "Godspeed, Kavan," as he turns around and follows the rest of the group, wishing that he could have said goodbye to his friend, if at least, before he left.
Very good. So you continue on your journey, and again, Callum sort of bamfs out his familiar, that white eagle, and sends Velena into the sky to help guide your journey. And you continue travelling for the better part of a day. You stop for lunch again, you stop for rations, take your breaks where needed. And again, this forest is hard going. There are big, thick tree roots and trunks to navigate through, and it's difficult to sort of get a gauge on the sun at some points where the canopy is thick. But eventually you begin to start to see these rocky outcroppings, and you realise you can't be that far away from the mountains now as you continue on. There is a moment where the sun just dips and darkness just spreads. And there's a moment of panic from you all. Even with dark vision, this place is horrendously dark, really difficult to see. And Velena comes sort of streaking down, sensing Callum's slight panic, and just sort of alights on his shoulder.
It feels very
hover
much a
around,
magical effect that wasn't...
Not magical, just oppressive darkness.
Can I ask a question? I assume Kavan's footprints went in the opposite direction to northeast?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Just wanted to...
They went in a different direction, not necessarily opposite, but just different direction.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure. Cool. Yeah, damn. Beautiful.
Cool. You sort of hover for moments thinking, do we stop here? Do we try and scramble around for a place to rest? And then the moon just sort of alights in the sky, and it is a large, full moon. Even through the canopy of the trees, you can see it shining yellowish whites, well, yellow bluish whites all around you. And that's where you see it ahead of you. This, what you thought were trees, but actually what now look like 10 stone pillars. You begin to walk towards them. And as you approach them, we are going to take our short break for the evening, and we will come back to this in part
Mini
2.
cliffhanger.
Mini cliffhanger, but only for a few minutes or so. So, my friends,
Golly.
thank you for an awesome first half. That was amazing. I know we've had a few people sort of drop in, and thank you to the new follow. I know we didn't announce that immediately on stream, as
Oh,
we
yeah,
were sort of
thanks for that,
mid-flow, but I
guys.
will say thank you very much now. That is amazing. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy it. Now, I did promise a giveaway of the Eldritch Presses Into the Veils. So yes, there is a PDF, at least one PDF copy up for grabs, depending on how many folks we get answering the question tonight. So to be within a chance, or to be with a chance, with a chance to win one of those 2 PDF copies of Into the Veils, the question you have to answer is, what was Edgious Bones' original surname? What was Edgious Bones' original surname? Now, same rules as last week. If we don't get any winners, we will continue to roll over to next week, and so on and so forth until the PDFs are gone. But yes, just enter your answer in the chat, and then if we get more than one person who answers, we will do a quick either dice roll or something to make sure we make it fair on who that winner is. In fact, you know what, bollocks, it's going to be the first 2 that get them in. I don't know why I'm even questioning it. So ignore me. But yes, we will be back in a few minutes with part 2 to see where this episode goes. See you in a few. Hey, yo.
Yo.
Good stuff.
What
So I
you're
don't
doing.
think we got any answers. Well, excuse me. Don't think we got any answers for the competition, which is fine. We will keep that rolling until people win, because I'm happy to keep doing that. Welcome to the new chatters. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you are enjoying it so far. I've dropped some of our custom rules into the chat because there was a question around it, and I suppose it's important that people who are watching understand what we're doing in the background, because I know obviously all the players already do. They've had that briefing. The final thing I need to say is I need to... yeah, okay. I'll guide you through that process. The final thing I need to say is I need to retcon one of the final moments there in terms of I did my maths wrong. It's not one day that was travelled to finally find this place. It's 3 days, or so 3 days in total. So yes, you've travelled a couple of extra days to get to where you are now, with that moon now rising up, revealing these 10 stone pillars which are arranged in a circle. So, my friends,
I feel
You
like our
arrive.
tagline should be Molten Magic, we do bad maths, because that's pretty much of course.
you ask my wife. You ask my wife how bad my mental maths is, and she will probably just laugh in your face.
As we get to the stone, the pillars, I'm gonna like come up to Jules, and I'm gonna be like, just in case, and just place a hand on Jules' back and cast mage armor.
Sweet.
Nice.
What the hell does that do?
That
13
so-
plus your dex modifier.
Exactly. Wow, look at that. That's why he's the GM and I'm fucking sat here like a doofus. Legend.
Sorry, Bodie. I completely shat on your Christmas there, didn't I?
No, that was perfect. And as a almost like a shadowy essence, as I lift my hand, kind of the shadow kind of ripples away. And as I kind of walk along, the shadow continues to like feed out of my hand and kind of engulf you, Jewel, until you're almost a little bit of a haze with this kind of almost Dune-esque shield of mage armor
Nice.
on you, basically.
So I believe, Jewel, that should take your AC up to 17.
Sorry, what did you say? It was 13 plus.
13 plus dex
13 plus
modifier.
your dex is only plus 3, isn't it? Not
Yeah,
plus
so
4.
it's
So, yeah,
16,
I
yeah.
can't. Again, Mortal Magic, bad maths.
Yeah, so I'm on 16, but that is 2 higher than I had before, so I am pretty happy with that.
Hell yeah.
Very good.
As a person who dies all of the time, you need all the help you can
Yeah,
get.
I mean, you know, we just need a running tally on the bottom of the screen for how many times she dies every episode.
Now, Jewel,
Yes.
as you continuously sort of, like, you've used this long sword that you found a couple of times and realised
It's not
it
quite
didn't
her
quite
bag.
fit your purpose.
Yeah.
And one a night you sort of spend some time with it, and almost attune deeper to it.
Oh.
And it's almost like the sword itself begins to understand you as well as you understand it, and the blade length just magically shrinks down so it becomes a short sword.
Nice.
No one's ever wished for less inches, have they?
I don't know if you manage to pierce something in the other end, then maybe.
Oh,
I was going to say, I imagine if you had like a 12-inch dong, you'd probably wish for less inches, wouldn't you? Because nobody needs that amount.
Take it down to a reasonable 10. That's like all of our
It's
bits put
all
together.
classy content here at Malt and Magic,
Oh,
folks.
it's the best.
super classy. Top tier.
Very good, my friends.
I take it is still, so it is now nighttime, moonlight.
It is
all that
night
jazz.
time, big full moon on the third night, and you see these 10 pillars. Edge, you were about to say something, or Bodhi, you wanted to say something.
I was gonna just basically try and relay to the group, like, let's like fan out ever so slight, like as quietly as I can, just like let's fan out and kind of just like come at this from a couple of different angles before we just step into the moonlight that, you know, is precariously, hauntingly shining down on this gorgeous little pillar area. And then if I could, I would like to cast. No, actually, no. You know what? I'll just walk around. Can I make an investigation check, looking into the center, like what's going on in the middle of all these pillars?
You can make an investigation check, yes.
Awesome. That's a nat one.
And that one. The light of the moon and the shadows make it so it's very difficult to get a proper assessment of what this stone circle actually looks like. You know you're going to have to get closer to really even begin to understand what's going on now.
Gonna like do sign language to whoever's closest to me. Be like, what do you see?
No, you've seen
making
that.
Callum's just give it there, go in.
I'll just use message to talk to him to go, what the hell are you doing?
Does message
In your
like
head.
echo out of his skull, and suddenly it's like a foghorn, like.
Canon. Definitely, it definitely does. It's like in its.
Like a bit of tannoy, yes. Would the person that is reporting cell 3.
I'm like a small little like portable speaker. Is if you cast message through. Can I respond with message? Does that give me a response?
You
Yep.
can.
No,
Cool.
does it? I don't know. Let me check. I always confuse it with fucking sending stones because I have both.
I think they work the same, don't they?
Yeah,
Message should allow you to send
Yeah.
a message back.
message. You can respond to this message. It's just
They
what,
can
30?
they can reply, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh
There's
no,
no
6
word
seconds
limit,
on
no.
that one, whereas the other one's a number of words.
There's no word limit on
Okay.
message. It's not like a tweet.
Okay. In that case, then I will be like, I can't see anything from my angle. It's fucking bright. Can you guys see anything?
What can
At that
Jules
point, I will
see?
really hone in on it and try and see what I can see.
Perception checks from 2 of you, then, please, Jewel and Lex.
18. Happy with that.
18.
Perception. I can do math, I promise. 22.
22. The 2 of you
I
manage
think that's the
to
lowest
just
perception roll we've
about
ever done.
see through the conflicting light in here, and you can see that each of these pillars, or at least the closest ones you can see, look like they have a crescent moon symbol on them, and some sort of runes written across them. Or at least the one immediately in front of you definitely does.
What do you see?
I see
nothing,
some
darling, do you?
runes and like a crescent moon symbol. Have I seen that symbol
Fuck, are
before?
you seeing that? Make me an Arcana check, please. I'm not seeing shit.
Coming at you with a 13.
A 13, no. You've never seen that symbol before.
I've never seen any markings like this before. You were aware of any rituals?
Fucking markings you want about?
moons?
It's a moon, but a crescent one.
You know what a crescent moon looks like, right?
Where?
Can Jewel look up, and is the moon crescent?
No.
Great question. That's a fucking great question.
Ooh.
I ain't staying here a month. I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm gonna remind you of the fucking material that you're after, and the description of said material.
To be fair, Dave, it takes us 3 hours to open doors sometimes.
It does. And the fact that Matt is saying that, like I can remember, I've slept since then.
We're looking for that flower drenched in moonlight, aren't we?
Oh, see, it's perfect. I knew we were meant to be here.
Flower that only blooms under the light of the full moon.
And it's not a full
Is
moon.
there?
Oh, it is.
It is a
Yes.
full moon.
It is.
Hey,
Is it-
that's good for the story.
No shit.
You'd be a real dictator if you went. It's the crescent moon. You've got to wait 14 days.
Come back in a month. Come back after your period, and we'll see.
I reckon. Is there a flower growing anywhere under this moonlight?
Make an investigation check, please.
Fuck's sake! Come on, this time. I'm gonna use a different fucking die.
There's going to be loads in there.
Son of a bitch. That is a 17.
You see a number of flowers dotted around, but nothing that would give you the feeling that it's what you're looking for. Doesn't seem special enough.
Are these the symbol on the rune? It's on a rock or a pillar or something. Does it look like
Standing stone.
Standing stone? Sorry. So it is on that, and does that then resemble that it is in any form of circle, or is it just by itself?
So you can see there are these stones, standing stones, not 10, as apparently I can't read either. I'm doing maths. There are 7. And you can see there are 7 now
Okay, now,
quite
that's not
clear
even close.
stones. It's because I went through this a couple of times as I iterated through my
Well, 7
my
twice
puzzle.
isn't even 10.
And no. As in, I went, let's start with 10. No, that's too many. Right, let's go through that. And I eventually landed on 7. So, fuck you, for starters. There are 7 of these standing stones, but the one immediately in front of you, which is probably only around 30 feet in front of you, has this symbol of a crescent moon that you can clearly see and some runes underneath.
I'm gonna pick up a rock, and I'm gonna throw it into the moonlight area
Solid.
and see if anything happens.
Okay. You throw this rock, small stone, and it sort of bounces off this stone, or this standing stone. You hear it clatter, and then just as it lands in the center, where you can see moonlight beaming down. It sits on the floor. It's a rock in moonlight.
I go, shall we go in?
We have not come this far to turn back. Let's go.
Yeah.
I assume we all step out into the light at the same time.
Just Woof.
Well, I would say that. I mean, Jules.
That moment from Pirates of the Caribbean where everybody turned skeleton apart from Edgious.
turns back.
Sorry, Dave. I totally cut over you there, but I had to get that one out.
No, that was a good one. That was a very good one. I was going to say, So Jewel would, reading this correctly would actually be, the goal is to get past those standing stones. It feels like if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen the moment you step past that.
Okay.
Walk over to the standing stone with the crescent moon. I guess begin feeling around, seeing if I can press anything. Is it like any of the stone movie, or is it solid?
Does feel like the stone can rotate.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
That's a hard puzzle that I'm not going to be able to solve coming along.
Here we go. First of all, I'm going to use my disguise kit, pull out my disguise kit and a bit of cloth, and I'm going to use one of the like powder things or like a lipstick style something or other to make a rubbing of the runes and of the crescent moon shape. I guess then I'll just start looking, see if there's any other shapes around.
Okay.
I will check. Is the moonlight covering everything, or is it pointed towards a particular thing? Because I'm thinking, I've seen it in a video game before where you've got to turn it to angle the moonlight to hit the flower just to get it. I've played Assassin's Creed Valhalla and that's what's happened.
You will look around and you'll see that the moonlight is hitting at a certain angle, and it's not that the light itself you can reflect or refract, but you can see that shadows certainly lie in a certain direction depending on how these stone, and you see Edge sort of slightly move one of these stones and it does affect the shadow.
I think and then is there a flower that happens to be in shadow, or is there flowers in the moonlight?
Nope.
There's no flowers. Well, it's not going to bloom, is it? Because there's no moonlight on it. So is there a weed-looking thing that's in some shadow?
Or is there a perceivable
check,
centre
please,
to this?
Did you say perception or investigation? Sorry.
Investigation, sorry.
15.
15. You don't see... Well, you see plenty of weeds, but you get the impression there's a circle for a reason. And in the dead centre of the circle there is a mound, but there's nothing on top of that mound.
And that's currently in shadow.
Nope, currently in light.
Ooh.
I wonder, should we see if there is a flower nearby, and we need to bring it into the center?
I've also noticed that Edgious, you can move some of those stones, which then affects the way the moonlight falls on the ground. So maybe that might come into play a little bit.
I'll shift and I'll be like, lefty loosey, and try and shift it round and rotate it as Lex says that.
Okay. We'll say you make me a strength check to begin with, please.
Shit. Let me, well, that's not going to be great at all. That's really bad. Fuck, that's a 3. Is that just... Where's Kavan? Shit, where's Kavan?
Callum will walk over. Shall I give you a hand?
No, it's alright, I got it.
Make me another strength check, please.
That's a 4.
4. You stood there just gripping this stone, and you can see it does rotate, but you're just there like... But in that moment you realise that the runes in front of you actually form language. as you stare at this crescent moon and runic pattern. And somehow, someway, those runes form words which read, "Where shadows meet moonlight, the petal's secret takes flight."
And once more to the uninitiated.
Where shadows meet moonlight, the petal's secret takes flight.
Oh,
I
that I'm not none the wiser.
as I'm rotating, I'm gonna let go and be like, never mind. I think I worked it out. Never mind. There's the runes make a language. It wasn't that I couldn't turn it. Stop laughing at me, Callum. It wasn't that I couldn't turn it. It was that I realized something. And
I mean, I offered to help. I'm not.
Look, it says, and I'm going to point to Cam, look, you seem like you know a lot of things. It says, where the shadows meet the moonlight, the petal's secret takes flight. Takes flight. Fuck.
Easy for you to say.
Well, then we need to have both moonlight and the shadow crossing as the center of this clearing.
Jewel,
So
make me an
maybe your
investigation
idea
check,
of
please.
Noise.
putting some flowers in the moonlight may help. It's a good line of inquiry to start with, Joe.
I like that.
24.
24. In the orientation of all of these standing stones, you see that there is only one point where the shadows of two standing stones touch. So all of the shadows of these standing stones, apart from two, are separate.
Yeah.
There is one area, one point, where two shadows cross over each other.
And are they from stones that look like they are movable?
You would have... I'll say with a 24. Maybe. Potentially. They look very similar.
First of all, I would check, in essence, the edge, of that shadow. And just double check there's nothing eye-catching along that.
When you say check the edge, are you looking? Are you moving? What are you doing?
I will move to that edge, so I will literally walk along that sort of line.
Okay. As you walk along that line, and there's a moment where your tail just flicks over that meeting point, that crossing point, the two pillars where these shadows come from light up.
I stop.
What did you do there, Jewel? You've caused more light.
Apparently I am standing here. I'll move further into the... So what was that? The shadow that my tail went in? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So I move more into the shadow.
And the light of these two pillars just glows even brighter, and they emit this very soft, radiant moonlight effect. And as they glow, the shadows that they emit dissipate, and they continue to glow. And you then see that the crescent moon symbol appears and more runic language on one of those two pillars.
Cool. I'll run up to that one and read the language, if I can. I may not be able to.
As your eyes focus on these runes that seem to shift slightly in the moonlight, you then look upon it and you see a second riddle. Where night turns to day, the flower's gift finds its way. Where night turns to day, the flower's gift finds its way.
Which I will then repeat to the group.
How does that make sense? If we need a flower that blooms in the moonlight, what uses are going to be during the day?
I am
But
also
Lex-
as truly baffled.
No, Lex Jewel must have solved the previous phrase, whatever, I can't remember, and
Well,
she stood where
Oh, is that
two
what
shadows
happened?
crossed, and
Yes,
was trying
and
to
then
figure
these
that.
glowed, and a new riddle formed, and I'm assuming we just have to
But
find a location within this circle as Callum rolls a natural 20 on his intelligence check.
nice.
Come on, Callum.
But Callum, I thought we needed
I'm sure the DM as well.
a moon drenched flower, so it needs to stay moonlight, does it not? That is why I'm baffled.
But perhaps in order to reach such an item, maybe it's... Look, from what I know of the Fae, they don't make things easy, and if a location of such an item that is, I'm going to assume, powerful, you wouldn't just leave that out in the open, would you? You'd put wards around it, protection, something. Otherwise any dick on the spot could just come and pick that flower and, well, it's fucked then, isn't it?
Absolutely. Okay, so does that mean that we need to wait until day, or that we need to turn this light coming off the pillar into daylight?
Anybody care?
Well, it says where night turns to day.
Oh.
Lex?
Can we look to see if anywhere around the kind of glade is anywhere where the shadows and like moonlight cross each other? So there's like a point where both shadow and moonlight cross one another specifically.
Make me a perception or investigation check, please, Edgious.
Hell yeah. That's the ticket right there. Holy shit. That's gonna be a a 26.
26. The minute you think of that and think, well, when you say that, you do find a point on the eastern side of the circle where moonlight and shadow meet very abruptly.
I assume Jewel hasn't moved from. Have they moved from their spot between two shadows?
They
Or
moved,
still
those
there?
shadows are now gone as these pillars have lit up, and they've moved over to where one of those pillars then had a new set of runes.
Beautiful. I'll walk over and be like, I think what it means is when night turns to day, it's where light crosses over shadow, and he's gonna just step into this spot and go, so ta-da.
3 pillars light up, and the one in the middle, you see a crescent moon symbol appears in runic language.
Edgious is gonna be like, awesome, and then like do like a little air guitar solo to himself, and then step back into the circle and be like, oh, okay, what's it say? He's gonna say to whoever's closest to it as he walks towards it.
You closest to it?
Oh,
I don't know.
am I closest to it?
Lex, I'll let you go read this one.
Ooh. I'm ready.
Okay, as you step up to this pillar, you read, "In the starry embrace, the petal hides its grace."
In the starry embrace, the petal hides its grace. And then I'll immediately look up. See what I can see.
See an open bit of the canopy, an almost perfect circle. Big bright moon. Lots of little stars. You see the night sky, my friend.
And then do the constellation of the stars make the shape of a flower or any shit like that? Or is there just like something in the canopy that is a flower?
Make me an investigation check.
Come on.
As you spot the little dipper.
7.
7. You see multiple constellations that are known to you that sort of reflect what you were taught as a child, but also what you've learned through your own studies, nothing of which is reminiscent of a flower.
Okay.
Okay. Starry Embrace. Well, has anyone ever been called a star here?
You're in a band. You're
I've been
probably
called
the
lots of
closest thing
things.
we
A
have.
star is not one of them.
Can can Jewel look? You said that these were 7 pillars. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And currently 5 are lit up.
Are these pillars? Do they have a top, or do they just come to a point? What's the how
They've
are
got
they
sort of flat tops,
flat top?
sort of very rectangular, cuboid.
And
Sick haircut.
have the ones that we've worked on been sort of in order? Are they random? Like what's?
There was 2 on one side
Yeah.
and 3 on another, so you've got sort of like 6 and 7, if you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
To one of the ones that haven't been lit up, can Jewel go to it and then climb it and get to the top, please?
You can.
So we'll jump up to the top of one of them and then see if there's any symbols or any, and she'll point. She'll look back down at the group. Well, this is the most star-touched area of these stones. This is the top of them. Let me see if I can find something, and we'll look from her vantage point from one of them, but to all the others, if there any markings of any kind.
Make me an investigation check, please.
Look for star touch crystals while you're up there. We need one of them and all.
22 again.
22.
Sure.
So you can see again the shadows, if you like, of these 2 remaining unlit pillars. One of which points almost directly towards the pillar you're stood on, and then as you look at the pillar you're stood on, you see that the shadow of it reaches out behind you. As you study the pillar that you stood on, you look down and you see there is a symbol of a crescent moon almost facing that pillar that is projecting shadow onto it.
Right. Sorry, I'm on the one that's in shadow or the one that is casting the shadow?
You are on the one that the top is not in shadow,
Yeah.
but there is shadow projected on one face of it.
Okay, so I'll jump off, move to the other one. Callum, Anand, we need to. No, this won't work. There is shadow on this one.
What are you thinking?
I was trying to think if there is a way of us getting the shadow off this pillar I was just on. No, this is not going to work. I was being foolish. I thought I could twist it, but that would make no difference. I'm sorry. Is there any way we can think of not having the shadow on this? Can these be pushed? Can we try? Can we try and push it out of the way?
Give it a shove, yeah.
Callum, I will assist you.
Okay. That means I've got to make the
Yeah,
advantage.
you're
based
damn
strength
right.
roll.
He's the stronger one.
Go
probably.
on then, Callum.
13. With a -1 to strength. The 2 of you, which way are you pushing it?
Away from the other pillar so that the shadow moves off.
Away from the other pillar. So you push it. And it just leans back enough that the shadow recedes. That fire, well, the 6th pillar begins to glow. And you
Jewel
can see
will-
crescent moon forms and runic language.
Okay, so Jewel will run over to that one. Everybody, let's have a look at this one.
Oh yeah.
And the final...
We're a roll now.
not the final. The last... No, it's not. I'm thinking of the wrong pillar. Sorry, the one that's just lit up. Because, fuck me, there's one remaining. Brain. That's what very late train journeys will do for you. The one that's just lit up then reads, Under Lumina's gaze, the petal's beauty does amaze. Now I need everybody to make me a straight wisdom check, just off the back of that one.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Straight whizzy.
Straight wisdom check.
I rolled a 1, so that rolled 2.
Very good.
Doing well.
That tracks.
Press the one button.
I rolled a 5.
We're all just...
Fucking hell.
The fuck does this
Callum
mean?
10.
Go team.
But I'm kind of not wanting to give it to you since you all rolled shit.
Okay.
Say it again.
Under Lumina's gaze, the petal's beauty does amaze.
So in theory now, the moon should be shining on what we want to see, right? And what we need. Is the plinth in the middle that had nothing on it, has something happened there now?
The moon still continues to shine there. There is no shadow. There is still some shadow, but it doesn't stretch all the way across to that other pillar now.
But the central section with a rock in the middle is not in shadow.
There is still a column of shadow that crosses it.
Okay. I'm assuming Lumina is a moon goddess, something like that.
Oh yeah, good question. Can
Only
have
been
other
paying attention to WhatsApp. Or Signal, I should say.
if we so have any of us heard of Luminar?
I will allow you, since you've asked the question, to make me an extra history check, but that was originally what the wisdom check was for.
Oh, I see. I see. That makes total sense.
But it's fine. Make me a history check.
Do you know what? I'm more than happy to forgo that one. Definitely more than happy to forgo. I don't know what the
Okay.
Luminar is, bro. Okay.
All right, chat, give us a minute, all right? Because we're going to work this one out.
Callum's going to be there just going, Lumina, Lumina, I know that name, Lumina. Lumina, Lumina.
Okay, do we think that it is actually a god that we've heard about? Is it something that happened when we spoke to the elders? Is it a stone or a crystal we've already got?
Oh shit! 1 second.
Is she one of the elders?
Hang on a minute.
Can I pull something from within a pocket
Of course
that
you can.
I've had on me for a while? I'll be like, I don't know if this is gonna do anything, and I'll pull from my pocket a magnifying glass and see if I can find like some sort of angle with the moonlight to like use it to project it onto this stone plinth and try and like get rid of that shadow a little bit.
Make me a dexterity check with advantage, please. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or, no, do you know what? Make me a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Okie dokie. Yes, boss. Okay then. That is a 16.
16. There's a moment where you take your magnifying glass out and you're like, well, fuck it, it works with sunlight usually, and you just sort of move it around, and there's a moment where you do manage to just touch and get it so that the shadow itself fades and there's a reflection of light that hits a crescent moon symbol on this final unlit pillar that you didn't realise was there, and that flashes for a moment. As you then move it off.
Okay, so... Edgious, I think you have something. Hang on a moment. Joel will then run over. Can you try and send that moonlight towards my blade? And she will pull her blade out and see if she can, if you can then basically bounce it off the side of the blade. The blade has some little crescent moon designs down the side.
Oh, Dave!
Oh,
yes!
So clutch.
I got to the point of search my inventory in this quest. So yeah, it's presumably at this very moment, because we are in I would consider, I don't know, it's probably quite bright, but let's call it dim light. You do see a sort of a glow.
Twilight-esque.
Yeah, you see a slight glow. The blade is brighter than our surroundings, and is going to see. I wonder if it is going to magnify the moonlight onto the symbol.
That's a nice sword. Where did you get that from? Damn.
This dagger has come in handy a few times. It is one of the few magical items I am willing to bear.
That's a nice way to say they stole it, right?
I mean, it sounds like it. And Edgious is then going to start turning the magnifying glass to angle it at Jewel.
And we will use your previous check, and as you shine it on this dagger, the dagger glows. Not in the way you were expecting, Jewel. It's almost like the glow that it had turns into this aurora-like effect. Maybe an intelligence saving throw, please.
Yikes.
Oh, no.
Yoinks. Get cursed, son.
Oh, doesn't help. Actually, it kind of helps, actually. 14. I was going to say, that was appalling.
14.
Just a check.
As this aurora-like glow forms around the dagger, a voice speaks into your mind.
Always good when a sword speaks to you.
Yes, great. It's just going to go so well.
It always goes well. Always.
I am Luminastra's blade. What will you have of me?
Shit.
I mean,
Shank something. Shank something with it.
yeah, just
Fucking
goes up
stab
and
the
just
stone.
stabs Lex. Is that what you want? No. In answer to your question, we are looking for moon-drenched petals. Can you gaze upon our location? Can you shine bright in this area?
Make me a persuasion check, please.
This music is not giving me hope.
Dun,
I was getting so fucking overexcited there. Sorry, I'm doing a what and a hoo-ha?
Persuasion check, please.
Yeah, you persuade that god.
There's a wolf sound in the distance there.
Yeah.
I know it was a cat, but I'm going to turn it into a wolf sound.
Yeah, random mark cat. Probably going to do a poo, like he usually does on stream.
I should
Lovely.
not have moved all these because that was an natural. For persuasion of 26.
Damn,
Dave.
son. Get persuaded, god.
The dagger just... and aurora like light shines out across everyone and hits this final unlit pillar. And you see, hidden in shadow, a symbol of a crescent moon, and as the aurora light hits, two of the stones just fall into each other, and a moonlight portal appears. The voice in your head again, Jewel. Luminastra has seen you, and she will come asking.
So, the inner
Glow
monologue
fades.
of Jewel is not another fucking one. I've got enough already. But she, so there's yes, her stomach sinks, but she does look up and, is that it? Have we done it?
I'm just gonna
I'll
go
go
put a
check
hand on
where
Jewel.
that central column of light is. Sorry, cut you off.
No, it's all good. Perfect. I'm gonna go put a hand on Jules and be like, freaking great idea. Are you okay?
Yes. There was a voice inside my head. I believe it was from the blade. From Luminestra. I think I owe another god a favor. It is becoming a thing. Oh dear.
Can you stop indebting yourself to deities, please?
I didn't mean to, Lex. I got my blade out. Okay.
You guys just brushed over it. I think I should circle back to it. Another? Meaning that there's possibly multiple others.
Oh yeah, the demigod of the astral plane is
Yes,
Jules' best friend now.
I apparently was partially saved by them as well, and
She's died a lot of times, as we've established.
one or two. It is becoming an habit. Oh dear.
We're definitely gonna have a chat after all this. I have.
Look, Edgious, I realised.
Callum, at this point... Carry on, Dave.
After everything that you were saying, what we have seen of you now, I now understand why you wanted to speak to me when you realised I died. Oh dear.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
I'm just going to say, and you all thought this was weird, and points at Edgious. You've got this shit going on.
Yeah.
You
Now
know.
you know why I was so accepting of you, Edgious. I've got my own problems to deal with.
I'm just gonna, I was very open about the whole Fae thing, but you fuckers
It's very open
know,
about
just
your
we're going to
penis,
hide
but
all
that's a
sorts of
different
shit.
story.
Yes, I am not a transparent and open book. Lex, have we done it? Is there a flower here?
I will go over and check what's happening in the moonbeam.
So there's not a moonbeam, but you now have what looks like a window that's formed, almost of pure moonlight. And as you stare into that portal, you can see on the other side almost a reflection of the very area you're in. But on that mound, there is flowers growing and what looks like maybe fireflies just buzzing around the top of it.
Into the Fae
An orange glow.
Callum,
Guys, we did it!
is that what? Is this a mechano portal or is this a Fae portal?
It's not Fae.
It's not.
Hang on. Let me
Lex,
consult
is
my
it a
book,
portal?
and I'll go through me portal book to see what the fucking orange portal
Nice.
colour is.
Hell yeah.
Make me an investigation check with advantage.
Come on. Nope. Fucking hell, a 3 and a 5.
3 and a 5, which is fitting because you flick through this, and there's nothing in this book about moonlight portals.
Well, we didn't. Well, first of all, Lex, what do you see? Would be a
You know that orange glow we see in our dreams or in that shared vision? I'm kind of looking into a windowed portal. If I actually not put, when you put your head to a glass to look through a window, if I do that, think because it is a window, what do I see through it? Or do I just get sucked in and the edge missing? Gone.
As you put your head to it, expecting to feel some resistance, you just... And it's like putting your head through or into a cool pool of water, but you can still breathe. As you put your head through, and there's sort of this shimmer effect, but you can see out to the other side, and you see a very similar glade as I come back in front of my mic so you can actually hear me properly. You see the exact same glade, but there are 4 white flowers in full bloom under the light of a full moon, with these orange glowy bugs almost, or magical effect above them, and the circle of standing stones surrounded by these faint blue, what you can only describe as wisps.
Question, just to
the
get
flowers on the other side of this little door. I can't quite reach them from here. We have to go through.
Is this more mirroring our plane? So like we're here and it's opposing to us, or are we at a door? Because you said that we had 2 stones.
Strangest things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the 2 stones from where they were stood just went, boom, and it's like a mirror. It's a reflection.
Right. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense, because I was going to say that we need to like drop into a puddle, but if we don't need to, that's cool.
Is there a way to capture some sort of essence of this portal, whether it be in some sort of a vial, or to be able to trap some of the arcane potential that this portal is creating for possible later examination? As an investigator, would there be any methods known to the world for magic containment into mundane storage devices?
I like your thinking. Make me an Arcana check, please.
Okay, let's do me right here. Do me right here. Oh, fucking nat 20. Let's go.
Nat 20. So you, on your person, have a particular piece of gemstone.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have a vial or something in your disguise kit, and something just calls to you, and you take that shard and put it near the portal, and as you put it near the portal, the shard itself, almost in opposing effect, glows black and gives that dark saber type effect. But it allows you to just collect some of that moonlight like glow and put it into this vial and stopper it, shove it into your bag.
Sick. Awesome. I'm gonna look at Lex and be like, I didn't even know I could do that, but here we are.
Well, be careful with that.
What was
we don't
that?
want to cause a planar disturbance. We'll investigate it later.
Just something that I got during the event I mentioned earlier, and he's gonna slide the shard back into his inside jacket pocket.
So has Lex said this is not a portal yet?
No, I've said it's a portal because I've said the flowers are on the other side.
Oh yeah,
we need to get to
you
them.
have said it's a portal.
How far out of reach are they?
Great question.
They are about 10, 15 foot on the other side of the portal.
I think maybe I could reach them. This might be a weird question, Edgious. Can I borrow one of your arms?
Oh shit!
Will it work?
You see him like
your body?
pop it off. Jim, I don't know. When I pop my limbs off, do they work? When I'm not, when they're not attached to me?
It doesn't Scooby-Doo, so it's got to in real life. And real life is obviously D&D.
Fucking 88, yeah. It still works.
Beautiful. Oh, wow, that's going to be helpful. Holy shit, that's going to be helpful for
You now
for
have
future
double the
endeavors.
reach. You now have double the reach. That is brilliant.
I'm gonna like crack my shoulder out of place and pull my arm from the wrist out of my sleeve and hand you like the shoulder joint, basically.
Awesome. Thank you.
Excuse me, I think I'm going to be sick.
Just hold on to my coat, and then I'll use it to lean in and try and grab a flower using Edgious' arm.
I imagine at this point, because Edgious can't see, the hand's just doing this.
He's like,
No. Edgious is doing puppet
colder.
fingers for a minute.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when to
Hand
grab.
puppet,
Stop
sorry.
flailing the arm. I'll tell you when. It's going to be like a claw machine now.
Beautiful.
So I'll tell you when to grab.
Edgious, make me an assisted dexterity check, please.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're miles away from these flowers, but
It's worth a shot, right?
it's worth of every shot. It's brilliant.
Just for comedic
like-
value.
I like the idea as well that like you're directing me one way and the other way. And in this moment, we learn that Edgious actually might be dyslexic as he gets his lefts and rights mixed up.
Just grabbing the wrong way.
As you kind of get frustrated, he's gonna turn, like the hand's gonna turn and talk to you and be like, "Hey, chill out, man. I'm gonna get to it, okay?" And then he'll go back to grabbing. Cool. So sleight of hand, did you say? With disadvantage?
A straight dexterity, but I'll allow sleight of hand with disadvantage. Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, let's do that. Fuck it, why not?
With a disadvantage. Why? It's not connected to you.
That would be a natural.
There's a moment, Lex, where you think you've reached it, and like your top half is in through this portal on this mirrored area, and you say now, and Edgious' hand just turns into almost like a shovel and just digs into the dirt as the skeletal fingers just dig in, and you just hear this rustling just, and from where you are, out of 3 trees to the what would now be the east, west, and southeast, 3 wooden figures with these glowing yellow eyes step out, and they have wooden shields that are almost formed out of a limb, and these wooden clubs that form, and an ethereal voice speaks out. Who disturbs the glade? And all 4 of you are sucked in through this portal.
Oh.
And if you'd like to load up Owlbear Rodeo, there's a little treat for you.
Oh,
Yes. Very.
Oh yay.
Oh, hang on a minute. I haven't done it on that one.
I've never been more excited. I bet these wood guys.
Lex has never been sucked before, so this is a real treat.
Oh, look at these little ents. Oh, it's animated.
Do excuse us, chat, while I sort a few bits out here.
Holy fuck!
Chat, it's sick. You're gonna love it.
You
Matt,
will in a minute.
It's fucking popping off. Look at the shadows. What in the holy cyber is happening here? Jesus.
I mean, it's worth it for just that reaction there.
Jeez. Wow.
First of all, we'll go to that one, and we'll be there in a minute.
We will go to that one. Now, immediately, I need
Initiative.
everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, yeah.
It's that one. There
Let's fight some
And I'm going to say what we're going to
trees.
do is we will play until 10:30, and then we will pick this up next week wherever it's at.
It's
Cool.
fine. Lex is just going to smash them all to pieces, and we're all good.
I'll have won by then. Yeah, no problem.
Fully believe
I've
that.
got an initiative of 15.
I just rolled a 15 too.
Oh, nice.
13 from Edgious. 13 from the Edgelord.
What is my initiative?
13 for the
There.
Edgelord.
That one. There we go. Nice.
Jewel with a 28.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very good. So the initiative order is going to be Jewel, Callum, Lex, and Edgious.
Oh,
Sweet.
Okay, so
we're not fighting all those little fireflies, are we? Just the trees, right?
yes, 1, 2, 3, 4,
The things
5,
that are
6.
labelled. Yeah.
And you're into your 17th round of combat. Sorry, nothing else is going before Jewel.
Nope, all on you.
Okay.
That was one hell of a drum beat to start combat.
Yeah. Okay, so we may have rolled initiative, but Jewel will bring out her short sword, and it makes absolutely no combat difference, and technically can't do it as combat. But will bring out her dusk. Well, she will continue to hold her dusk dagger, so she is 2-weapon holding, but it's purely for theatrics.
Okay.
And we'll speak out to the glaive, to these possibly where the voices came from, A, B, and C. We are here to collect the flowers, and we have been given passage to do so. She will hold an attack. No, she will move. She will move up next to them, and will hold her attack with the defender short sword for anyone who comes within striking distance.
Very good. So for theatrical purposes then, as you say, you've come for the flowers. That ethereal voice booms out at this point. None may take the blossoms. The ground itself shakes, just for dramatic effect. That'll be Jewel's go.
With that, she
Carry on.
then gets into a much more combat stance. So the dagger's, lower, the sword is out, and she is just looking them down.
Okay. Callum's then going to go next and just stands there. No, why has that gone Callum? It was Callum first, sorry, yeah, ignore me. Callum's just going to be there going, Jewel, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then just connects his hands together and goes invisible.
Thanks, Callum.
Bye!
Appreciate your help.
Very good. Lex.
I'm
A bit of initiative.
I'm taking initiative here, and I will
Lol.
grab a ball, form a ball with embers that start to roar into a big flame, and I'll just chuck it up in the air. I nearly pulled my fucking ear things out of my ear, nearly ripped my ear off then. Ow! I'll chuck it up into the air, and then I will grab my mana stone, concentrate on it as I cast my meta magic to twin the spell, and I will target A and C with a flaming chromatic orb at second level.
So A and C, yeah.
Yep. So this is the roll to hit. So we've
What's the
got
chromatic
14
orb,
to
is
hit
it?
on the first one.
Is chromatic orb the one that
Misses.
you get to pick which one you do and stuff?
I get to pick the damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm choosing fire because they're made of wood. So 14 to hit on the first one.
Misses.
Cock and balls. Right, second one. 14 again.
Misses.
I
They
will-
both just lift these
I will-
shields up and...
Fuck. Well, that's pissed on my chips, isn't it? Oh, based on that epic failure, I will now hide behind this rock. Well, not actually hide
I mean,
because I don't
that's
have
the
an
portal.
action.
I was about to say you can,
Oh, is it?
don't pass through the portal again.
Don't do that.
For the
Yeah,
love
I'm
of
going
all,
out.
totally.
See
It's
you later.
So I will say, as you turn around, there is no portal. It's gone.
Magic.
Of course.
Ooh.
Of
Oh dear.
fucking course.
I will.
Lads, we have a problem.
I'll stay with Edgious then.
Saw, dude.
Okay.
We're fucked.
Edgious, over to you.
I'm going to look over my shoulder and then shout to Jewel and say, "The portal's closed. We're fucked." And then I guess I will. Fuck, man. I don't know whether I should do this straight away or leave it. I'm gonna try and cast suggestion on B.
On Lex.
On Lex.
Love a good
Lex, can you
suggestion
please go? So it's a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw if they make it, dependent on whether they can be charmed and other bits and bobs.
And that targets a creature, doesn't it?
Yes, it targets I can magically influence a creature you see within range that can hear you and understand you. Creatures
It's a
that
charmed effect, right?
Yes.
Okay. As you try to connect with this creature, then it's almost like there's nothing to connect with. Just
Lights are on, nobody's home.
Excellent. 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 That's so much good times. Cool. I'm gonna be like, they can't be charmed. And then I will turn to Lex and be like, let's split up. Don't cluster. Get away from me.
Jill would like to
Oh,
respond to you, they can't be charmed by, have you tried buying them a drink first?
No, I actually hadn't. I will then move through this way and just try and create like a triangle between us so we can all look at like the angles in front of us. And I'll face, I guess I'll face A, and then I'll say to Lex as I'm like walking away, I'll be like, "You got this," and I'll give you Bardic Inspiration.
Yes.
nice.
It's a D6, right?
There?
Yes, D6.
It is indeed.
Yeah, because I used mine up, didn't I, last session?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, have I still got it? No,
It would have faded over the couple of days anyway.
Of course. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Very good. Let's pick a green dice, as it is then A's turn. A is just going to sort of stumpily walk 5, 10, 15 to here. And is just going to take this wooden club and swing at the skeletal form of Edgious. So the first one being a lot. That is a 25 to hit.
Let me just see something quickly. 20 see. Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah, it hits.
1, 2, 3, 4 of them. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 points of force damage as this club just connects with your skeletal body.
Ooh.
And it's then going to do that again
Oh, yeah.
for an unnatural 20 to hit.
Dirty 20. You little. Yeah, that
Dirty
hits.
20. Yeah,
Hits.
that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 points of force damage.
Cool. Yeah. Edgious. Fucking takes 2 big ones.
And you can just hear what sounds like either splintering bones or splintering wood. Just as it connects. B is then going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 to there. It's going to swing twice at you, Lex. It's 9 to hit with the first.
Nope.
And a natural 20 with the second.
Oh, no!
Fuckity fuck.
Here we go, boys. It's
Damn!
real go time now.
9, 10, 11.
Oh shit.
One got stuck. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 23, I don't know why I struggled so much with that. 27 points of force damage. Is it just...
Oh, fuck that. I'm bloodied.
Ooh.
27.
Sorry, what you on there?
I'm on 21 now.
21. Damn.
Damn.
And then it's C's go. It's going to go 5, 10, 15 straight to Jewel.
So can I take my strike?
The minute it gets within striking distance, you can.
Okay. Again, I know it's still going to hit me, regardless of whether I hit it or not. So let's roll. This is with the short sword. I miss with an 8.
With an 8, you absolutely misses it. Just sort of, you're just like, what the fuck's going on? I've rolled 2 dirty 20s to hit you.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
2, 3, 7. Maths. 11. 15 plus... 16, 17, 18... 20, 23, 27 points of force damage total across those 2 attacks.
Flipping blighter. I mean, that Jules bloodied. That definitely deserves a splat.
Very good. We'll then back up the top 2, Jewel.
Sorry, that was 2 attacks, was it? Ignore me. I can't use my reaction. Never mind.
No. But it is your now action.
Christ,
It's now your turn.
Yeah. Okay. Bonus action steady aim, not going anywhere. I hunker down even further. Give myself advantage with the short sword on C. And so this will be... Oh, you beauty. 23 to hit.
23 is absolutely going to hit C.
Okay, so this is now going to be with the with that damage and with my sneak attack because I gained advantage. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, bloody hell, that rolled out. Here we go. That was all terrible. 12 points of slashing damage. But I will use also with that.
That was with your sneak attack, yeah?
That's with sneak attack. Honestly, I rolled 2 2s, a 1 and a 4. That was awful.
Oh, mate.
So, but I will do 2d6, which is 5 points of necrotic damage as I strike towards C. Like a burst of of that dark, like smoke energy blasts out, and almost the mirror. We're in this mirror realm. A mirror of exactly what I just did to C attacks B for 5 points of necrotic damage,
5 points of
and it
necrotic,
just
very good.
wisps away after like passing B.
Excellent. Anything else on your turn? I think that's it because you used steady aim, haven't you?
Steady aim, so can't move. That was my bonus action and my action. As much as I would love to get the flock out of here, as that was just my attempt to get a proper hit on him. I'm done.
Very good. Callum then is going to roll with advantage because he is hidden. He's then going to cast his 2 beams of Eldritch Blast. Ooh, that's a 27 to hit with the first at B. And a 21 to hit C. So they're both going to hit. I'm going to make this easy on myself. So that's a 10 to B. 10 points of force damage to B. 11 points to C. And let's just double check all the features and traits. Agonizing Blast. +5 to the damage it deals, which is already done. Actions, bonus actions.
Can I just say, having played a fighter before who gets bloodied occasionally, first attack and the rogue is bloodied is a new experience for me, I have to say.
Why do you think I ended up getting myself a bow and arrow so I could just do it from 200 feet away?
Yeah, honestly, I really should get in there, attack and disengage and get out.
Yeah.
So Callum's then going to hex C, and as part of the hex is going to give them disadvantage on dexterity-based checks. And that will be Callum's go. Lex.
I'm glad you said that, because Lex will do something you've never seen him do before. He'll grab his symbol and you'll see 6 almost molten balls of metal start orbiting around his head as he concentrates on this spell, and he will launch one of them at C and one of them at B. It's my flavour on Melt's meteors, but obviously Lex is known a meteor, so it'll be molten metal to him. So it's a Dex 14 saving throw from both of those, please.
Now that's a saving throw and not a check, unfortunately. But
still, the big tree's not going to move
still
very
worth
well.
it. So you can send 2 at each, yeah?
No, I can send 1 or 2, so I'll send 1 to each.
Okay, 1 to each.
Yeah.
When you cast the spell and there's a bonus action. Yeah, okay, so that's going to be your action and bonus action. So they need to make dexterity saving throws. Okay, where's the green dice?
Come on.
That is, I thought that was a natural 1. It's a 7 for an 8 for A.
Yep.
13 for B. And a 5 for C.
Well, I only needed B and C. Did you do all 3?
Say again, sorry?
Did you do all 3?
I did 3, yeah, because you said you were sending 3 out.
No, I can only send 1 or 2. So I'm sending 1 to B and 1 to C. They both failed anyway, didn't they?
When you cast the spell and there's a bonus action on each of your turns thereafter. So if you use your action and bonus action, so action to cast the spell and send 2 out, and then your bonus action, you could technically send 3 out if you wanted.
I read that as,
or 4.
When I cast it, I can fling them, and then as a bonus action on my next round, I can chuck some, but not both at the same time.
Yes, no, you're right. So it's 2, so it's A and B, they both failed. That's me not reading again.
So that is 11 points of fire damage to each.
Okay, once a meteor reaches its destination or impacts against a solid surface, the meteor
Jules
explodes
got to make a dex save as well.
5 feet. Yeah.
Oh, and me.
And you.
Fuck.
So that was how much
Didn't think
damage
that through.
to both of those?
That's,
B and C,
oh,
how
I
much
didn't make
damage?
the save either. Fucking idiot. That's 11 points of fire damage to me as well.
Sorry,
So
I need to make a dex
fire
save, do I?
damage. You do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think that through, Dave. You'll make it, you'll be fine, but I will not.
16?
Yep, you're fine. That's half damage, actually, so you take 6.
Okay, 6, but I'll also use my uncanny... Or should I? No, they're
You
going to
can't,
attack me.
it's for melee only. Oh, I suppose it's a melee spell.
No,
it's not, it's a save.
I am going to take the 6.
No, it's not. It's a save, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna take the
So
6.
I'm on 10 hit points now. That was a bad idea.
Me too. Once again, we're on the same HP.
There we go.
Oh,
you
I've
do
got
have
to
a
make a
bonus
con
action,
save now.
Lex. You do.
Hang on. That's right, a natural 20 on the con save. That was helpful.
Nice. the remaining 4.
And then I've got a bonus action, which I can't. I've got nothing
Any
I can
potions?
really do. I'm tempted to move, but I daren't risk an opportunity attack. But at the same time, if I stand there, he's going to fucking squish me anyway.
We are
So-
we are boned. No pun on
1,
that, Edgious, at
2,
all.
3, 4, 5.
Get the fuck out of there.
6.
Yeah.
I'm moving. I'm going to take a risk with the opportunity attack because I can't be taking a hit regardless.
There we go.
11?
Reaction shield.
Nice.
Because that was actually my armor class. Not a big fuck.
Where's your armor class?
11.
That was fit, Dave.
You're welcome.
Very good. Edgious.
Okay.
Finish this round and then. we will
Seeing
call it out.
seeing Lex
We're
like
getting
get hit a couple times and kind of like retreat a little bit. Edgious is fuck, dude. Jules, you act before these guys, don't you, in the initiative?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna rotate round, still within his dangered space, and kind of get in front of Lex. And then, fuck. How damaged is the wood thing in front of me looking? I guess.
A's taken no damage whatsoever.
Oh, you fighter.
Fuck's sake. Okay. Jules, yeah, I'm going to cast Hold Person on the. Is it a humanoid? Does it count as a humanoid actually? No. Okay. Never mind then. I will do my second option, which is I'm gonna cast Thunderwave at 3rd level, at the
Nice.
at the homie in front of us. So
Con save,
15 con save for you. Yeah.
Nice.
8.
Beauty.
It was a
Beauty.
Thunderwave, was
beauty.
it?
Yep, Thunderwave. We love it.
10 feet away.
So that should be 4. 1 second, I need to just find another D6. Is it? Oh, the fuck! It's 4d8.
That
not
is
D.
officially my next overlay that I'm creating,
48.
just FYI.
Thunderwave.
Yeah, Thunderwave.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, I'm sorry I jumped the gun a little bit.
No, honestly, I don't know what else to make, so I'm just like waiting until we know what we're going to use.
Ah,
We
beauty.
talked about
Okay.
ejaculation quite a lot. You could do a white splash across the screen motif.
Yeah, for when we do really well. Inspiration.
So that's gonna be it's gonna be 17 points of thunder damage, and it's pushed 10 feet away from us. Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah.
Towards me. Thanks.
Yeah,
This wooden stump type thing just. Duff, 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 duff.
Edgious to do the spell as well is gonna strum his lute and go and just fucking like let out a fucking wild one as
You just see the
absolutely
sound waves
obliterate.
reverberate off.
Yeah, and then as a bonus action, you're gonna see Edgious kind of like reach to the sky, and as he does, almost like a bowl of shadow is gonna begin forming as it then gets absorbed into his hand, and you see it kind of like move, almost like veins along his skeletal arm, up like the neck, like around his head basically. As I'm gonna basically, a bonus action, get rid of 2 of my sorcery points and give myself a 1st level spell slot back.
Sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
And that'll be the end of my go.
Very good. It's
And
gonna
I'm
be a
gonna say-
glow
I'm gonna
from
say,
inside
"Get
your inner
back,
pocket when you
tree!"
do that.
Fucking tree! The fuck out of here!
Oh, good. None of the enemies are bloodied. This is wonderful.
So A is technically prone, so it's going to use half his
Ah.
movement speed, half its movement speed to stand up, and
kill
is then
Joe.
going to go 5, 5, 10, 15 over here as if it's running towards one of the trees.
Oh, great.
I was calling for backup. Brilliant.
B is going to go 5, 10, 15 into there. Disappears.
Oh. Just have to burn the forest down.
Oh, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And then
I'm going to act like the Brazilian government and do quite a lot of
Here.
deforestation next session.
As it steps into a tree trunk and just sort of merges into it and then merges out of another one behind you, Lex. You can hear the cracking of wood as it does so. C is going to take 2 swings at Jewel.
Okay. Might have to
Come
do
on,
this one at a
Jewel.
time.
Fucking natural 1.
Yay!
Good.
Happy days!
Another
Oh,
one of
shit me,
those.
that didn't even go down. And what's your AC, Jewel?
16, thanks to Edgious.
My life, that's a 15.
Oh, I owe you my freaking life.
Let's go, baby.
That was a bum clencher. That was a bum clencher.
I was squeaky bum time at that point.
There was me thinking, yeah, we'll finish the round on something interesting, but no, we won't.
Yes,
but
Jewel
my
dying
friends,
for
I'm going
every
to say,
session.
because we have finished a round there, we will pause this for this evening, and we will pick it up again next week. So yes, stick around. Well, join us again next week to see how this goes. I once again want to say thank you to Bodhi for joining us, and thank you for continuing to be the amazing Edgious Bones. Thank you to Dave and Danny for being as epic as always. Thank you to our new chatters and our new followers within the Twitch stream. If you're watching on YouTube, as I said earlier, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and the notification buttons, all of the buttons on YouTube, to make sure you don't miss out. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much. Please leave us a rating or review. That is it for tonight, my friends. This has been episode 31 of Malt and Magic Campaign 2. We will pick this up next week to see how this combat goes and how our party fares in retrieving these moon-touched flowers. We love you all. Stay safe, and we will see you next time.